Hello everyone, thank you for joining us today. My name is Priscilla Novoa and I'm the Conference and Programs Associate at Hope. I am excited to lead you through our facilitated discussion on energy and the environment. Did you know that California is responsible for a little over 2% of the world's greenhouse gas emissions? This is an important issue because by 2016, the Latino population in the United States reached nearly 58 million and accounted for half of the population growth since 2000. At 18% of the nation's population, we are the second largest group behind whites and the largest group in California. I want to ensure that Latinas are informed about these issues and that our voices are heard. This topic is so important to me because I am passionate about reducing greenhouse gas emissions and preserving a livable climate and prosperity for future generations. But I do wonder, how do we find balance between California's environmental goals and ensuring a fair economy? Today, you will hear about AB 32 and SB 32, two pieces of legislation that are leading the charge to reduce greenhouse gas emissions to 40% below 1990 levels, which means that we all have to be conservative and aware of our carbon footprint. Like me, you may have questions about how the state is going to reduce greenhouse gases, and what does that mean to you personally and to our community? That is why we have asked leading experts in the environmental and business community to help answer what is the impact California policies such as AB 32 and SB 32 are having, and at what cost. These experts will be referred to as stakeholders because they all have a role in helping us reduce greenhouse gases, and they are on the front line working on these issues. And now I would like to introduce one of Hope's own, Teresa Villegas, inaugural Hope Leadership Institute class of 1999. Teresa is the Environmental Public Works Deputy for Los Angeles County Supervisor Hilda Solis. She advises the supervisor on environmental and transportation issues. Teresa will be sharing with you what Los Angeles County is doing to reach the city goals to lower greenhouse gases in transportation, the largest source of greenhouse gas emissions.
Ports and trucks need to move throughout Los Angeles County, but they also move as far north as Washington, and they also move as far east as, New York. So the technology that we provide has to be on a national scale. There are some obstacles and challenges, and there's opportunities that transportation needs to meet in order to attain our SB 32 goals. I think that we're trying to be able to do that obviously just through our inventory of our fleets throughout Los Angeles County. Most people just don't think of Los Angeles County's, our fleets as an opportunity. It's not just our fleets, but it's also metro, public transportation, having those either be, near zero emissions, trying to do everything possible to be able to upgrade those. I think that the voters in Los Angeles County, look, they passed Measure M. That's the transportation measure that was before the voters in 2016, and they passed it overwhelmingly. They want to tax themselves. They want improvements on our roads, on our subways. We're a premier county. We should show that.
Thank you, Teresa, for sharing your insights. And now I would like to introduce Melanie Figueroa, Political Affairs Manager at the California Building Industry Association, assisting in the direction of CBIA's political objectives and the industry's political giving. Melanie will be sharing with us how the building industry is faring in meeting its goals to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. This industry is one of the lowest sources of emissions.
So our goal is to continue building and try to make it easier for everyone to have the American dream of owning a home and having that be attainable. Our new technologies that will help for new residential homes are on-site energy storage, such as the Tesla Powerwall that goes in homes in their garages. Our rooftop solar installations will be generating a lot of energy during the hours that people aren't home, but how to store that. That is one of the challenges. Since the grid is not a battery, we need to figure out a way to store the cheaper solar so you're able to use it in peak hours. The two new policies that consumers should be aware of are the time of use rates and the elimination of natural gas in new construction. The usage of, if you're at home at 2 o'clock running your dishwasher as opposed to 6 p.m. is going to be a significant difference. it will become the new default rate structure throughout the state. So especially in the summer, we all know our utilities are quite high. Also, as the state moves to further reduce greenhouse gas emission, there's an active push to eliminate natural gas in new homes construction. While typical consumers won't really notice the difference, 2 out of 3 consumers prefer gas. This is going to be a problem as we try to transition all new homes to be electric. For the solar mandate that is going to start in 2020, it's going to be the biggest upfront cost increase in the history of our state building code. This policy impacts the cost of housing by $10,000 per home. Right now, as you know, we're in a housing crisis. California needs approximately 185,000 new residencies each year to keep up with the demand. It's been 12 years since we met that goal.
Thank you, Melanie, for sharing that with us. And now I would like to introduce to you one of HLI's alumni, Elizabeth Shapiro, HLI class of 2017. Ms. Shapiro is the Chief Operating Officer of BizFed, the LA County Business Federation, which represents over 375,000 business owners that employ nearly 4 million people. Liz advocates at every level of government for policies and projects that benefit our regional economy and grow jobs. She will be sharing with us the challenges and opportunities that businesses face while trying to reach California's goals.
Most business sectors are achieving or are ahead of their AB 32 goals. The thing is to remember that that doesn't come without a cost. Therefore, as the green economy continues to grow, the traditional economy, their jobs are being lost there. There's a lot of investment flowing to California right now in tech jobs specifically because of AB 32. That's a great opportunity. The challenge is that folks who are less educated are not able to access those jobs in that economic boom. A challenge with AB 32 is that it is one of many policies that make California's energy market the most expensive in the world. So energy in California costs more than it does in any other state. For example, gasoline costs on average about $1 more per gallon in California than it does in any other state. And when you stop to think about specifically, California has more Latinos than any other state, who is paying that $1 more? When Latino small businesses have to deal with increased energy costs, whether that's gas or electricity or fuel, they have to reduce their costs. The biggest cost in most restaurants, for example, is labor, or they have to increase their prices. So ultimately, all the consumers are really paying for those costs, those increased costs. In California, it seems that we're always trying to be the greenest, the fastest, and we are, but that comes at a cost as well. We are about a year ahead from the rest of the country in terms of reducing our greenhouse gas emissions, but our costs are exponentially higher. So we are paying the price for being leaders on the climate. A program that's working well that's come out of AB 32 is called the Carl Moyer program, and that's where the government provides millions of dollars in funding every year to help medium and small businesses replace their dirtier, older vehicles for cleaner burning vehicles or other equipment like forklifts or tractors or trucks or anything like that, and has reduced NOx and other GHG emissions by thousands of tons. There continue to be new policy advancements all the time trying to get our air to be cleaner. And BizFed has about 40 members who are working actively right now on AB 617, which is trying to identify communities that suffer the most from air quality and figure out the most cost-effective way and practical ways to make sure that the air in those communities gets clean. Small businesses need energy for whatever kind of business you're in, whether it's a restaurant, a manufacturer, even a hospital. All of them need energy in a variety of sources, and they need a mix that they can rely on. So for restaurants, for example, they prefer, generally, chefs prefer to cook with gas. And especially, in Mexican restaurants, we like to have our tortillas on the gas stove.
Thank you, Liz, for that wonderful information. Wow, everyone, that was a lot of great information. And now I will turn it over to Noelia Sanchez, digital brand strategist and self-taught seamstress. Noelia will walk you through the stakeholder grid and lead you in a facilitated discussion about the stakeholders you've just heard from. Over to you, Noelia.